playcasters, Capitalist comes to mind, where he's a 6K player. He knows the game pretty well.
Yeah,
sure, he's not a former pro. He'll say something, he'll get flamed. People will say he's an idiot. I know, I've heard plenty of analysts say the same shit in a similar situation and get praised for it. And it's just a little frustrating when people don't critically think. Like, it's definitely fine, and people should consider credentials and consider someone's history and background. And, I'm not saying that people should take everything I say analytically the way that they would, those analysts, but it's just annoying when people are that lazy mentally. But, it's the internet. What can you expect? So, would I like to be an analyst if I could? I would enjoy it. I mean, the cool thing with being an analyst, I think, is there's more diverse options for you, Dota. So you can do panels for some of the big events, like the majors, especially. You can obviously do the co-caster role, and you can still get excited about stuff that's happening. For me, I just can't not do it at all. I definitely over the years I've tried to moderate it, and because ultimately you can end up stealing the material. Let's say you're a perfect analyst and a great hypecaster. You leave no space for your co-caster in some cases. If you do all the analysis, then you do all the hype. It's like, what the hell is the point of the other guy? So I always try to leave that space anyway. I think for me I think what I can't give up sharing my thoughts on the game if I really feel strongly, because I've been playing the game for 10 years. It's like if you've grown up as a fan of football your whole life. Like, you're not just going to sit there when you're watching a match that you care about and you're invested and just not say anything if it's just on your brain or just... Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like, you're casting a match and, like, you see something that just... It's like... For me, I've cast so much and... that I feel like whenever I watch a game, I'm always comparing it to different games, whether it's old metas, the way that a hero used to be played in previous patches, whether it's just different builds between the two different players playing the exact same hero, even in the same patch, and it just kind of comes over me. I just feel like compelled to say something. I don't know, it kind of eats away at you to just at least not broach it as a topic of conversation. So, I mean, I think that's definitely what makes me unique compared to pretty much every other more play-by-play commentator in Dota, is that I think I bring a lot more in the way of like historical examples and just can speak a little more fluently about the way the players used to build their heroes, their old metas, different styles. I guess in some sense it's somewhat similar to what you do in Counter-Strike, where you're the self-professed historian of CS. So I wouldn't quite be willing to say I'm the historian of Dota, but I think there's an element of me that I just always feel compelled to bring it up.
Sure. Are you someone where the importance of the match, is that like significant to you? Do you still, like, if it was the best teams imaginable, they're playing a match, but it was just like a smaller LAN, or it wasn't with, you didn't have a big crowd, or occasionally, I mean, not as much nowadays, but you're doing it online or something. Is that an issue for you at all? I mean, there's some people where they've done so many games, it has to be like the big match. It has to be like the big stage game to really get them fully going. What is it like for you in general? Like, what's your appetite still like?
So I started commentating Chinese Dota, especially, and Southeast Asian Dota as well. So the regions that I was covering didn't really have that much viewership or general attention. I mean, this was when Reddit was hardly even a thing. But whether it's Gosu Gamers or Join Dota, like, people would tune in to watch the broadcasts, and decent numbers, and they actually grew pretty rapidly after the international too. But when I started, the teams, I didn't actually know a lot of the teams that well. I had not followed the Dota scene closely at all before I started commentating. I think I had watched a handful of replays when I was in college, when I kind of found out there was a competitive scene, but my heart was always with Counter-Strike, and Dota was always my like chill game. Like, if I want to break, I'll go play some Dota, fuck around a bit, pick Juggernaut, and just run at people and try to omni-slash them, and it's a way to unwind. But I think for me, what I quickly found was that I get really annoyed when like, not that fans have allegiances, but when I feel like they're unreasonably blind fans. And it's a part of any sport, it comes with the territory. But I think partially as a reaction to that, I really made a concerted effort to always bring as much, if not more, energy to games where that would normally not be as exciting. So obviously, I mean, when I started casting, I would have like 12, 18-hour benders, where I'd basically cast nonstop. Like, you're running from the room to get more coffee, get more water, go to the bathroom, maybe eat something for 5 minutes, and you're doing your own production. This was long before there really were many studios. Even Toby was just had a one-man operation at Joy Dota for a long time. So you grind basically, and it's tough to keep your energy up, especially if you're solo casting, and especially when it comes to the Asian Dota back then. There wasn't that much interest, so I also didn't have many connections. So finding people to co-cast was extremely difficult. So energy would tend to flag, and I think over time I've gotten better at being consistent with my energy. Where obviously, if you're at a live event, you just feel something. I mean, you've been to some, right? So you know how it is. Like, you feel the crowd, they're cheering, they're excited. Like, it definitely gives you that little extra pep, and it probably puts a little skip in your step. But I try to be as consistent as I can, and ultimately, I think it's just mainly live events. If there's an audience, where you're always going to bring a little bit more, whether you think you're perfectly balanced or not.
So one of the interesting things in an esports context as a caster is that in Dota, like you're mentioning here, there are like studios, and there's people who are casters who get to be directly involved with production, which is actually reasonably unique if you look across esports. You know, nowadays, maybe in the last few years, people in some other games have been hired by like a main developer or someone. So now some of them do have more say or are integrated more. But I know a lot of casters, especially coming from games like Counter-Strike and Quake, where they really were the guys who, listen, they did all the on-camera stuff, but the second the mic went off, you know, like that's it. They didn't get any say in what was happening in their ear or on screen. What has it been like in terms of being able to directly decide some of the stylistic things in that sense, or the vibe of how the event's going to be set up with all the stuff you've been doing? What do you think of that kind of aspect? Was that naturally something you were into? Did you have to grow to do it? What was it like?
I don't think I could live without it, to be honest. So when I started commentating, I joined Dota Commentaries, which was not a studio. It was a website that did regular replay casts, because originally there were live broadcasts. I think Toby was the main guy who was doing some, I believe Cinder and Mad Mortigan and Blitz, and there was someone else who was in their group who did a couple of live casts, but they were extremely uncommon in Dota. The vast majority of commentary was over replays, and you make a YouTube VOD, and Illuminous probably the big person that comes to mind who really pioneered that. So when I started, I was part of a team, and you know, I was very green. I went to TI2. I mean, you know, it's a combination obviously of hard work and luck. Getting there, I wasn't that well known. It came down to who Luminous wanted to cast with. He ended up telling Dice Frog he wanted to cast with me, so I get to the main event. I got some lucky games, just amazing Dota. I made the best of it, and from there the doors just open. It's really, I think almost every commentator or on-camera talent kind of has that story. Probably the main exception would be former pros who already have their fan base and then retire. But if you're coming up and you're not known for your gameplay or for your personality, maybe if you're a Purge, it's different. You always have that moment. So TI2 was that moment for me. The play, the most iconic that comes to mind, the Navi vs IG game there. And so after that, I had a job offer from Join Dota, and Gods did as well. And Beyond the Summit was not a business at this time. It wasn't even really a full-time project. We had run 2 tournaments. We hosted the International 2 Eastern qualifiers, which was basically him. I just streamed and commentated. He did all the administration on his end. And I really thought about the offer. I mean, Toby was the best at the time, and you know, he's a fantastic commentator today, and I was very green. I definitely looked up to him. I felt like he was a better commentator overall than me, and I was honestly, I was shocked that Valve gave me the grand finals, and I definitely wasn't the only one. So I really thought about joining them, but the thing that ultimately made me not want to go is I really like having some control over what I do and basically being my own boss. I like working for myself. I've had a lot of different jobs over the years. Some of them more independent gigs that I kind of do my own thing, and some where I've worked for other companies. And I'm not gonna say I hated every minute of working for other companies, but there's just those moments where, like, you know, they're doing something stupidly, and you want to do it a different way, but you just have no ability to influence the decision. And you know, some companies like Valve, they're a bit better, where everyone's more empowered, but your standard business, that's generally not the case. And I think I looked at Join Dota, and not even having worked there, not even knowing what it was really like, I just kind of assumed, you know, Toby's always going to be the top dog because he's Toby, he's way more established. I'm never going to get to really do my own thing. I won't even really get to choose which games I cast. I won't have much control over the way productions are done. And back then, there was no production for online broadcasts of Dota. Like, the production would be, the camera shot comes on, you see the commentator behind the desk, you go into the game, you cast the game, you go back to the camera shot for 5 seconds, and you go to a wait screen. So that was it. That was it for every online broadcast. And that was better than most, where they just wouldn't even have a camera shot, and you know, they would just go straight to the game and then back to a wait screen. So there wasn't much filler content. And so I think we had a lot of ideas about how to improve production quality, and this was before Chinese Dota was really covered at all. So ultimately, that was the big thing for me. Was I felt like we could do a better job of going beyond just the basic game coverage, and I think a lot of it we were inspired by the international too, because you compare TI2 to now TI5, and I mean Valve's advanced the storytelling so much further. I mean last year's a great example of how they screwed up in that department, but TI2 still, compared to most tournaments, told stories much better. You had player interviews. They still had some team profiles. They did the post-event video, I believe, kind of recapping some of the key moments and basically painting the picture of how the event unfolded. So we really wanted to tell those stories, and especially for a lot of the Asian teams where, I mean, even today, there's still, you see it in every esport, whether it's StarCraft with the Korean robots, or I know League of Legends has that to some extent with the Chinese and the Korean players. And Dota's been very guilty of it, where, look at last TI. Though people have rooted for Vici Gaming over Noob, by and large, out of the Western scene, because they knew RTK. But they hardly knew the guy at all. They just knew that he was animated and he yelled a lot. Like, that's your average Western fan's understanding of him, and they compare that to Newbie, and they're like, okay, well, at least this guy, you know, has a personality, so we're gonna root for them. But that was our original goal when we set out. So the first event we did, the G1 League Season 4, I think it was, at the end of 2012. It was December that year. That was the first Chinese Dota tournament that was ever live broadcast to a Western audience. And originally, they were going to make us broadcast on the Chinese platform, which would have been an absolute train wreck. But we were able to convince them nobody could watch this. We can't even stream to this shit. So, you know, come on, let us broadcast on Twitch. You know, you're not even paying us anyway. We're just doing this to give you guys English coverage.
I bring an end to magic.
And I feel like we really went the extra mile there. There were a lot of interviews of players at that event. They're all in Chinese, and we got some Team Liquid community members, coupons. Shout out to him. Still, he translated them, put in subtitles. There was actually a really interesting moment, which I don't think I'd ever seen since then, where IG got filmed in the middle of a BO5 Grand Finals, yelling at each other about what had happened in one of their losses to LGD, and it was filmed, published by media. We subtitled it. You got like the kind of insight that like you'll never be able to get today. So it was, you know, I guess that was kind of the Wild West in a lot of ways. For China was far more established and had more of a, you know, a structured scene than the West, but still, it wasn't the way it is now. And then you go forward to TI4. Perfect example is DK literally having their room bugged with microphones. Oh god, who was it? I think it was GameFi. Yeah, and so now they're not allowed to go to TI4. So I mean, things have changed a lot in terms of what kind of access teams will allow, but we got a lot of that content, and you know, we even showed the Chinese stream, which was pretty unprecedented. I mean, it's not really that hard, but people just didn't think to do it back then. So going back to your original question, it was always for me the biggest thing was I want to be able to do things my way, and that's not to say I'm always going to do them correctly, but I feel like I learn better that way, and more importantly, I'm way more motivated working for other people. I'll still bring my A game if it's something I'm passionate about, but it's hard not to get frustrated if things are not going the way you think they should, and, you know, just kind of play them up a bit.
It does feel like one of the things that's made casting Dota 2 just get better year on year is the inclusion of the ex-pros or the people who still currently pros, like obviously like Malini, fucking Mad, all these guys.
None shall hinder me.
If there's someone where you think to yourself, like, this guy, you know him behind the scenes maybe, or even his on-camera personality, he's great in this sense, who are the people where the second these guys finish being a pro, like, you just hope they want to come on analysis desks, they're going to do casting? Who would the ones right now be where, if it was your dream, you know, you could harvest these guys in a couple of years, who would you want to come from the pros and get involved in this side? Who'd be good?
Oh god, there's actually a surprisingly large number, I think, in Dota. I think the one that probably comes to mind for me first, who to me is, I think he's the total package, and in a lot of ways better than a lot of current commentators, is probably No-Tail. He's casted a few of the summits. The thing with No-Tail is, obviously, he's an amazing player. He's played on a ton of top teams. He's not 1TI, but he's competed and gotten very far and performed quite well at big events and played with the best players in the game. Looking at whether it's Secret or Fnatic, he's always been an extremely talented player, and he just brings energy, man. He's more hyper than even like an OD Pixel or Toby a lot of the time. He'll be jumping out of his chair, but he's at the summit, he's like screaming, and when we're running the event, like normally the players are really quiet, right? See, the mics have to get gained out a lot just so that you can even hear like Kuroki quietly, whispering or mumbling. With No-Tail, like you gotta gate him more than a regular commentator. The compression we had to put on his microphone was absolutely absurd. So I think out of every pro player that's currently active, he's the one that comes to mind first. the total package, great analysis, very direct and concise as well. Some players, I think a lot of pros kind of ramble a bit when they're trying to explain, and I think it's partially because they're not really sure what level of knowledge to assume on behalf of the viewer. They're trying to find a way to like say you're stupid, but still being polite. That's not what we should be talking about. But No Tail will just cut right to it. So I think he's definitely the first one that comes to mind. PPD is fantastic. He's very dry, and at first I thought he was really boring, but he's actually got a very good sense of humor. It's just kind of a unique one. Like, he'll burn somebody, but it won't be in like a very over-the-top kind of way. It's a little subtle jab, and then you're like, oh, I see what you did there. So those are two that off the top of my head. Let's see, who else? Black is fantastic as well. He commentated at the One Summit. He's just funny. Like, I can't take Black too seriously. He's kind of a goofy guy in general. If you ever meet him at a live event, he's one of those people that, like, everyone will just kind of see them and just start, like, they'll kind of start smiling, and then you just start laughing at them. Like, it's just, and you both mutually are giggling together. He's just a joy to commentate with, and I think brings like just kind of a fun aspect to the cast that, you know, a lot of pro players, great insight, can be very boring for your average viewer. But those are probably three off the top of my head. I think at Dota we're blessed with actually a lot of pros that. Well, blessed for the viewers, maybe cursed for the current analysts. Those players that are retired.
Understandable. Okay, so one of the things you kind of touched on before is that because, well, I mean, there's so many great Chinese teams, Chinese region players who we know, despite the fact we don't speak Chinese, some of them must have brilliant insights or like really unique perspectives on the game. But again, beyond stuff like rare pieces where someone subtitles it, or one of them, I mean, some of them actually do have some good English, you know, westernized countries, Singapore or wherever it might be. If you could, on the same kind of question I asked before, if you could pick one where, at the moment, he's like a purely Chinese guy only, like maybe he doesn't even speak English, but this would be the dream guy. If this guy somehow could communicate in perfect English, we could bring him on to be like an analyst or a color commentator. Who's the guy where, you know,
what are you doing?
You can't actually know, but that you're intrigued by this guy. That it seems like he has a brilliant perspective on the game, or he have an interesting way of seeing things. Who do you think you want?
Why are you here?
So I think for pure total package, kind of the No Tail of the East, you have to say RTK. The guy is just a first.
Why do I have a bristle
here? We brought
here?
him to the first summit, and he was on Vici Gaming at the time. They ended up finishing 4th out of 6 teams. They got knocked out. I think it was only a 4-day event. I think they got knocked out at the end of day 2 or beginning of day 3.
Oh man, this thing sucks.
He was the only Chinese player at that event, and this was the first summit, right? Like, the players had no idea what to expect. They had never seen a home story cup. They, you know, with our certainly never been anything like this in Dota, so they were, oh, this is very weird. I'm not sure how to react. We had a viewing party, which was like 10-15 minutes from the house. So we bring RTK to this. He's the only player who volunteered to go to the viewing party out of both of the Chinese teams. DK actually had to play in the grand finals, but when they got eliminated, you know, they didn't want to go at all. I think Ice ended up going because we kind of tugged on his ear. Come on, man. There's a lot of fans there wanting to see you. But RTK, just been eliminated. He's like, great, I'm gonna go. Goes there. He sits down. You know, he doesn't. Especially back then, he didn't speak much English. I think he understands it quite a bit better nowadays. But he was just, you know, all smiles, socializing with all the fans. He actually ended up leaving with a bunch of fans. It's like, I'm gonna go with these guys. Like, you're in a foreign country. You don't really speak the language. You've just met these people. Yeah, you know, I'll see you guys later. Like, okay. He's a character, and I've seen like snippets of some of his commentary, and he's just a very funny guy in general, it sounds like. So I think he's the total package. As far as just like the player whose insight into the game I'm most interested in, I think it's just got to be Xiao Wei. I don't even think that's really a debate at this point. Maybe in a year or two it will change, but this is a guy that is probably the only captain in China who you can RTK maybe. But I think Xiao Wei more so. Really, the only captain in China you can say has consistently been on the level or near the level of a PPD or a Puppy over the past few years. He's been in the scene for a very long time. He's been to, I think, every TI. I think he's been to every TI. Actually, I'm not sure about TI 1 offhand, but Xiao Wei he's the mastermind. He's the guy that, like, you bring him in, and like if you could just change one player on a team and have the biggest possible impact, Xiao Wei is in that. He's in like that special S tier category of like the only, like the best possible move for a team if they lack a strong captain. Nothing can have more of an impact. And I think you look at like teams like Big God. The guy has done it all. Big God, he actually was beating people 1v1 mid, and historically Xiao Wei, the big knock on his play was that he's not a bad laner, but the laning stage isn't really his strength. He's much more of just an excellent decision maker in the clutch, a great captain late game, and just has a very good ability to formulate a game plan that fits the team and that's going to work in the current meta. But at DAC, he was just crushing people 1v1 mid, just straight up outplaying a lot of the world's best players. So, I mean, he's played every role. He played off-lane at TI2, he's played support. I think the only role actually he hasn't played is safe lane carrier, or one position, but I feel like he's been such a pioneer for the Chinese scene that I would, and he is the director. Like, he's always the guy that's commanding his team. I mean, more so than a lot of other captains, maybe even to a fault that it sounds like he's a bit of a dictator. Of course, I haven't gotten to talk too much because I don't speak a lick of Chinese, and he's a bit on the shyer side, I think, with the non-Chinese speaking members of the community. But you can just tell, watching the way he interacts with his team, like, this guy is the boss. He is the alpha male of the team. He's in charge, and I would just love to see what he has to say about games. You get to see PPD and Puppy Fest from the summit, but yeah, we've never gotten to see what Xiao Wei thinks in that kind of environment. So I think those would be my big two from the Eastern scene.
One of the things that's great about Dota 2 that I really enjoy as a spectator is the amount of tools you guys have, like even now that are built into the client and on casts, etc. There's other games where some of these things are, no one can even conceive of having extra tools to help the caster or to help the viewer keep it, and obvious ones like the gold graphs, etc. That's like a really good invention. But, I mean, there's things that you guys were involved in, like the team fight recaps and stuff. Is there anything where, at the moment, nothing like this exists, or you don't know how you'd implement it? But do you have any like a little concept for us? Like, oh, I wish we could somehow have this. This would be like, it could bring out another side. Is there anything you're thinking of? Some innovation we could see one day, maybe, or in a dream world if it was possible.
It's too bad we didn't do this interview 4 months ago, because we actually wanted to do the projection mapping thing before Valve did it at TI, but the problem is we don't run a large-scale live event, right? So we do a house-based tournament. So we were going to do like a small kind of intro at the viewing party, just to kind of, as a proof of concept, but you know, we ended up not having a viewing party last summer, then Valve did it, and did an amazing job with it. So that would have been what I told you 4 months ago. Nowadays, I think Dota is just, it's pretty complete, honestly. Like, the teamfight recap's really good, the graphs are good. I think making statistics more easily available in some sort of automated way would be great. Like, right now you've got to alt-tab, go to dat Dota, you know, the stats bend, and this is kind of a role in Dota. I know it doesn't really exist as much in other games, and certainly not in Counter-Strike. Like, they'll have to go research hero statistics outside of the client, but I feel like there should be a way to kind of dig into a player's info through the game client itself. So that would be cool. It's not really a total landscape shift. What are some other... I don't know if I can give you all my ideas here, Thor. No, I'm coming up a little blank. The teamfight recap was one of our... I think it was one of the things we've done that I'm proudest of. That, hey, if it's good enough for Valve to add it to the game, then you know it must be something that really makes a difference. I'm not a huge fan of their implementation, to be honest. I think it's too much. It's too info dense. It's not as easy to read as the concept we came up with originally, but and it's also buggy. Like, the numbers are often wrong, from what all the stats men tell me. There's some problems with the way the formulas are calculated, but. Yeah, that's definitely up there, and I don't know. I don't know if other games really have anything like that. I guess Counter-Strike, when you die, it'll like tell you, it'll give you the, you know, who damaged you stats.
I mean, maybe as a joke, what I was going to go with is they could have like the cast on like a 10-second buffer, you know, so the guy on the production knows what's coming. And then when you're casting a really great moment, he could add in like 1960s Batman style, like those graphics that used to come up in the fight, like pow.
The path is clear.
In your case, it'd be like, wow, burning across the bottom of the screen, you know, like loads of views or something. Maybe that would spice up some casts, I think.
Oh, you know, that reminds me of like some of the Korean casts that have been subtitled, where they'll have like the crazy, like colorful letters just shooting out.
Like the Chinese one where they were doing that super long game, and they had a similar scenario where it was like, well, there was those like 2-hour games or whatever, and they had it across the screen. It was good for the community value.
It was pretty entertaining. I still get salty about that cast though, because that was actually an incredibly interesting game from an analytical point of view. And, you know,
they didn't give a fuck though, did they?
Yeah, they're just like, fuck this shit, this is boring, let's flame the players and make fun of how boring this game is and how long it is, and, you know, haha, Chinese Dota's so slow, but that was, to me, that was actually one of the most interesting games of that TI, and I mean, I think it was just a bit unfortunate that people, you know, your average viewer can't sit there. And I get it.
Out of my way.
You know, I want people to appreciate the minutia a little bit more. And so it's tricky if it's two Chinese teams, especially. Like your average Western viewer is like, fuck this. If it's Secret versus EG and it's the same type of game, you know, then they're more likely to pay attention.
I'll strike thee down.
Okay, so on that topic, that's a problem I feel Dota has had actually. Because sometimes people from other games, if they see me tweet about Dota or I did something vaguely related, they'll be like, you really follow that game? Especially, you know, people who find it like, what, you really follow that game? And I'll be like, yeah, why not? It's great. They'll be like, I notice a lot of the ones who are biased against it, that's the problem. They watched during that era where there were like really drawn out games, especially the Chinese teams. It felt like they stalled them out forever, you know? So, unfortunately, I think people have got like a weird bias that they think that that's what Dota is now, even. Whereas obviously now it's incredibly fast paced, it's a lot more decisive, way more kills from start. So what I want to ask is this: how could the game veer so drastically in the spectrum of how dynamic it is in that sense? What do you think decides those factors?
I think it purely comes down to the brilliance of Ice Frog and the balanced team. It's not just Ice Frog, which is kind of a common misconception, although obviously he is the mastermind and the puppeteer, but he has a really loyal and dedicated team of beta testers, many of whom have been with him since probably I started playing, which was 8-9 years ago, something like that, or maybe it's even closer to 10 at this point. So that team, to me, I just don't think there's anything comparable to it. If you look at any game that's been consistently balanced and tweaked for this long, like, sure, you have games that were absolutely incredible to watch. Brood War comes to mind, CS, Counter-Strike 1.6, and so even some of the earlier versions, you could argue, were even more interesting and dynamic to watch, but those games stopped getting balanced, right? They kind of finalized the patch and the game ended. Games that have been consistently balanced and tweaked and changed and drastically revamped, like, I can't think of any other game at esports that's actually been, I wouldn't say every patch has been great, but on the whole has been consistently excellent. So, I mean, to me, you just have to take your hat off to the balance team. I think that's probably Dota's biggest asset as an esport that no other game has. It's just the best in developers in the business as far as making the competitive gameplay interesting while still keeping the pub experience. I mean, not great, but, you know, there's always going to be a broken hero that everyone bitches about, but whether it's Techies, Lashrak, or Tinker from the past, or whatever the case may be, but I think the balance team is probably the X factor there. I also think they're more willing to experiment. Like, if I don't really follow League very closely. I know that at least for a while there's been like kind of a very consistent meta, right? Like you always have, you know, your top laner is usually what, the AD carry, the mid's like the AP carry. You've got the dual lane and the safe lane and the jungler. Like that's just always how it is, right? Am I off base there?
Yeah, it's a static meta.
I think part of it is that Valve is just willing to make bigger changes. They moved the Roshan pit, like they completely changed the creeps. They added an aura to one of the ancient creeps that gives everything near it more HP. So it's just like dynamic changes. Like everything in Dota is kind of overpowered in a way. Like if you look at almost every hero, there's an ability where it's like, wait, what? That's just an ability? That's bullshit. And everything sounds kind of broken, but everything's broken, and therefore I think Dota finds its kind of very unique balance in that sense. And there are some hero concepts that are like slightly similar, but I think by and large, Dota has hero concepts but that's probably the other thing. It's just that they're not afraid as a development team to do things that are radically different and are going to dramatically shift the game. Whereas I think it seems to me as an outsider and not being in the war room with these balance teams, like you know, with like whether it's StarCraft 2, League. CSGO, it feels like they just don't have much of a development team, so it's kind of a separate issue. But for those two guys in particular, it feels like they're kind of afraid to mess with the formula too much, whereas to me, Ice Frog he's not afraid. He added like 5 new items in the last patch, completely reworked a bunch of heroes, bunch of the usual tweaks and number changes, and you know, smaller skill updates. He's not afraid to just basically throw it all against the wall and then start reorganizing it, which to me is something I think after a long time a lot of developers they're afraid to experiment. They know it's a solid formula and they don't want to take the risk that they screw it up entirely and it's no longer, you know, a game that anyone wants to play.
So, on the topic I was talking about when I was talking about like how extreme it got with some of those super long Chinese games where if you didn't know what was happening, you thought nothing was happening for 40 minutes, even though obviously there was. People were like posturing up, trying to feint with each other, etc. those are the games where it's understandable that the most casual viewer or someone who just doesn't have experience very much with the game is going to be turned off by that. They're the ones who are like, that's boring, like I don't want to see that play. So you kind of alluded to what you think about it, because obviously you kind of implying you really appreciate those games to a degree. I want to get into that, okay, because the thing is, in games myself, maybe because I've played for so long and I'm interested in the analytical side, I have kind of a sickness where I actually really like that sort of thing in games. Like I really love in Counter-Strike where it seems like a really slow, really boring match where it's like very slight variations on the tactic they're running, but if you know the tiny little nuance of what's happening, you're like, it's blowing your mind, you know, the implications of what it means and what's going to build the game within the game and all that sort of stuff. And I actually always, my analogy for it usually is, if anyone watches MMA, one of the most popular fighters in the last decade or so was George St. Pierre, but actually people always used to complain that his title fights were really boring. Because it used to just be him basically wrestling the dude the majority of the time, using like really fundamental boxing, and he was never knocking anyone out, he was never submitting anyone. But the thing was, if you knew MMA and you knew how insanely good all the people he was fighting were, then you knew that like actually the genius was he was like neutralizing all their strengths basically. So the fact that they weren't doing anything in a weird way, the omission of actual action was what was blowing your mind. Like, oh my god, how's he doing this? You know, and then there was a beauty to watching that. So you're gonna have to really earn your money right here when I ask you this. How were you able to enjoy all those super long fucking drag out games? But come on, you got it. How were those beautiful to you, LD? What was the appreciation of those? Come on.
Okay, so I think you really touched on something when you said you have to really follow the game closely to appreciate it. Like, if you've never seen a baseball game before, right? You've no idea what baseball is. This is a game that could, in theory, go forever, because you could be tied and just keep on having extra innings and extra innings. And there's no set end in sight. That sounds incredibly boring, but there's this whole chess match in baseball where, you know, you only have so many relievers available. They all have better matchups, whether it's versus lefties or righties, or maybe one guy's got a good sinker and this batter's not very good against that, or this curveball is going to be great here. You know, but once you change out that pitcher, you're done with him for the rest of the match, and you don't know which inning's going to be the last, and you don't know, you kind of have this idea, like, this part of the lineup is where we're most likely to get our hits, so there's a whole chess match happening behind the scenes. But if you don't follow the game, you have to, first of all, know the game, know a bunch of the different pitches, you have to know the hitter's tendencies, you have to know what the pitchers, what matchups they do well in. Some of this can be illustrated to you by the broadcast, but I think if you don't come in with a lot of that basic information, unless you like you take a drug that makes you love baseball, you're like, this is like watching paint dry. So I think I
don't think that drug exists, by the way.
No, unfortunately. Yeah, I like going to baseball games, but I can't say watching on TV is definitely the most exciting. But I think a good example to me, not from Dota, but actually from Counter-Strike is, do you remember when the money system started to get figured out? I think it might have been Moto was one of the first captains.
It was in like sort of 2002, 2003 era, yeah, because the thing was, at the time, people found there were like weird nuance. I can see where you're going with this, because the thing was, what happened was they essentially figured out that if you saved, you didn't engage on certain rounds where like you had a slight disadvantage. It was slightly better for you in those ways. You could control the economic aspect in a way which didn't make sense in Counter-Strike, because the basic currency of Counter-Strike, unfortunately you were using economics as the currency essentially of a round, the dynamic is the kills. That's what's going to decide what happens, and you're always heading towards something, killing them all, or getting the bomb down. But as I'm guessing you're leading to here, there will be times where people just save the guns, and so if you're a fan, you're like, this is bullshit, like, the round's over, it's boring, you know.
And you'd have times where teams would just literally camp the entire round, because it was going to hurt the other team more if you're terrorists and you don't get the bomb down and then get some additional kills. It's terrible to watch if you don't know what's going on. You're like, what the hell is this? And okay, it doesn't make for the best entertainment, but I still appreciate the level. I still appreciate the fact that these players can go next level and really push the boundary of the game. And in Dota, there's examples that can often be exciting, and there's examples that can be incredibly boring. So, flip side of this, sometimes you have things which they push the boundary, and they're also exciting to watch. Perfect example would be Alliance at the G1 League Season 5, which I think was shortly before TI3. So this was when Liquid and Alliance were the two Western teams playing against, they're basically running the gauntlet of all the top Chinese teams. I think the first, it might have been not the first Chinese event ever to have Western teams, but I think the first big Dota 2 event in China that had any Western teams. And that was the tournament where Alliance pulled out the level 1 TP mid Roche strat. So normally in Dota, if you go for level 1 Roche, teams would smoke there or just run there and then just try to do it quickly. But Alliance had actually figured out that if you TP to the mid tower, and this was when Roche was a bit closer to that mid lane for the dire side, and you just run there with the right lineup, it's actually impossible to stop the Roche attempt unless the Radiant team anticipates it and TPs to mid. And so you win either way, because if you don't go into Roche and they've blown a bunch of TPs to get there and you just play out the game normally, they've wasted a bunch of golden resources. And if you do go and they don't gamble and go for that, which, I mean, who would expect it? It had not been done. I think someone later found it been done once in Dota 1 like 6 years ago, but it wasn't even a big name match from what I recall reading about the history of it. So it basically had never been done before in a major match. And so it was just this brilliant maneuver, and that's like kind of the other side of the spectrum, where it's exciting and it's a very aggressive move, but it's also incredibly savvy and intelligent. But I mean, for me, it's obviously great if it's also exciting, and that adds a little bit of spice. But I just like the build-up, because if a game's slow and it's boring in Dota, shit always gets crazy late game in Dota. You've got buybacks, you've Aegis, you've Cheese. Heroes are going to have 6, 7 items easily. Sometimes you have the situation where like you'll have multiple crows flying around. Sometimes players are just flying a crow solely for the purpose of scouting. Ice is an example of a player who actually helped win a game for his team by scouting with I think it was a third courier for the team, just flying over the trees, finding, I want to say it was a Sandkid or Earthshaker that was trying to counter-initiate when DK went high ground. Like, the later the Dota gets, almost guaranteed the more absurd it's gonna get. I think most play-by-play commentators, they might not enjoy the ride. I enjoy the ride as well, but they definitely all love the payoff, which is, you know it's gonna get wild if it's 90, 120 minutes in, even like 60 to 80. Things just start getting weird in Dota. I think more so than pretty much any other game, to be honest. Just it's such a... I don't think there's many games where you can go from having like basically your entire base standing and then you scroll from one fight to, and like up until that point you have 2 lanes of rack advantage and map control, to suddenly you lose your gem, you lose the Aegis, heroes buy back and die again, your base is getting blown up, and you get mega creeped all of a sudden. Like that's like suddenly scoring like, you know, 6 goals in a game of football and in a matter of just a couple of seconds. It's crazy how quickly things can swing. So I would say it's 2 things. First of all, I appreciate just the chess match and the subtler aspects, and you know that's why I really love casting Winter, because he can bring to light a lot of those things that even most other analysts can. And then I love the chess match part of it, and you just know it's going to be wild when it goes late. So I think those are to me, the 2 big things that make me a masochist, where I actually enjoy these crazy, boring for 80 minutes, but then wild at the last 10 minutes.
So one thing that I've noticed that's always puzzled me, because I've never seen anyone give a good kind of like basis for why this could be, is that Dota 2, compared to any other esport team game I've seen, bizarrely has more examples of people who stand doing as good as the original lineup, which might be very good anyway, or even better sometimes than the other. I mean, obviously a ridiculous one was the Big God one, where they weren't even a team and they just did pretty well when you consider it. And then you've obviously got the Fnatic team when they had the whole problems with the era, etc. EG at the TI where they went that far with Mason, and then I mean, if you want to go way back in time, the Speed Gaming one where they won with RTZ. Is there something about Dota 2 as a game? Can you think of what the reasons could be as to how you could bring someone in who's not even a part of your team, maybe he's never played for your team, and like right at that event you could have incredible success? Is there something about the game or the dynamic you can think of that could blend towards this? Because in other games, just in the background, it's extremely unlikely. Like this is like a once in a blue moon thing that could ever happen. You're almost certain to play worse.
Well, I think part of it is selection bias, to be totally honest. Like, those are the ones that you remember, but for every one of those, I've had, you know, dozens of games where a team has some stand-in that either plays like shit or forces the team to play a style they're not comfortable with, or their mid has to play support, or, you know, suddenly the captain's in the carry role and this new guy's supporting, and he doesn't really work well with the other support. So I think part of it is selection bias. So the thing with Big God is that, since you brought that up, that's kind of a special case to me, because first of all you have Chow 8. Chow 8 probably could take 4 complete noobs and still make a decent team out of them. This guy is top 3 captain in the history of Dota, not just currently active, but who have ever played. Well, I guess now he's a coach or a backup, but so I think that makes the team special. They had a lot of veteran players as well. They had did they have? ROTK, was a DDC, Lanham, I want to say. I forget the exact roster. Maybe it was MMY, but I think that particular group of players was. If you take 5 newer players and just randomly throw them together, they're not going to have the results that they got. But that team had the leadership, the veteran experience, where you can kind of get away with it.
See how your top
I haven't really seen many examples in CS:GO or in League where you have standards. I think also in Dota there just are more cases where there are standards, because up until now there's been no roster system at all from Valve aside from, you know, once you get invited to TI, you can't change your roster unless it's like a very special scenario, like when Fear was injured before TI. But in League, you've got a very structured, top-down, organized system by Riot. CS:GO, not quite the same, but it seems like there's more. Instead of having the huge events, like the once-a-year big event like TI, you've got the more consistent major system, and then even, I don't know what you call them, mini-majors, like the 250k tournaments that don't have the stickers, basically. It seems like there's a lot of them nowadays. So I think because of that, it encourages, it discourages standards, right? Because there's always something really big to play for. Whereas in Dota, up until this year, this is going to be the first time ever, there's like 9 months out of the year where there's something to play for, but mostly it's just about getting ready for TI. And you saw this with the old Navi after TI2. They did not take the game very seriously, it looked like, as an outsider. Did not practice much going into TI3. Going into TI4, very much the same story as the players themselves have said. So I think part of it's structural, where there are just more stand-in opportunities in general with Dota, and as a result, you're going to have, the more opportunities you have, you're going to have some crazy outliers. Even in the case of EG, Mason, I don't think that works if that's a weaker team outside of him. Like if you don't have a strong captain like TPD, I don't think that works at all. So I think a lot of it's got to be, it's only certain teams where it works. They have to have a very strong core group, someone who's a veteran, who the players respect, who they will listen to, and who will be able to lead them. But if you have those circumstances,
the true path.
I mean, most Dota players have played every role, whether it's in pubs, they're very familiar with all the heroes, so I guess in that sense, players are pretty versatile and adaptable. I don't know how much that compares to League, where it seems like players kind of, just for my very casual watch once in a while, it seems like players pretty much just practice their one role. Just
they're specialists.
Exactly. So I think it's a little bit harder to plug and play, and when you have a stand-in, you might have to change roles, right? If the guy you bring in is just a solo mid player, and that's what he excels at, or his hero pool is all the current mid heroes, then he's kind of forced to mid, so then you've got to adapt to that.
Why did my screen freeze?
That's an
What
issue
the
where
fuck?
the players just aren't practicing in a way that allows them to easily.
So listen, I don't know how close you are with Valve, how but you referenced there the roster lock. Now, on one hand, some kind of roster lock, it's easy to see the benefits of this. Okay, you're not going to end up with a stupid scenario where an entire team goes to a tournament they've been invited to and they get one player or something. There's some leeway here, but is it not an issue that it's all 5? Does that not cause problems?
Well, I don't know 100% what Valve's reason is. I do know one of the things that they've mentioned before is that, I mean, it's pretty clear just from the way that they structured everything with their esports program, well, TI and now with the majors, that in a lot of ways I think Valve feels, and it's not unfair, that a lot of teams historically have taken advantage of players. So I think the way that they structure it, it's designed to protect the players as much as possible, and that's a big part of why they do it, but it gets tricky, right? Like Fnatic last year was a really good example where it's one thing when it's an organization versus the players, then you just take the player side. But what do you do when it's 4 players versus 1 player? And I think it's one thing when it's just TI as well, but now that it is the majors, I don't know. I think we don't have data yet. It's really going to depend how this goes, but I know in general the players, they thought the roster lock was way too soon, because there's basically no tournaments for these guys before. There's maybe a couple small online cups, but especially for the top teams that, you know, maybe finished 1-12 at TI, or most of the players did, they have no way to prove themselves before the major invites come out, or they'll have a little bit of an opportunity, but not much. It's only a month or so. And they also don't, and they're stuck with that.
Don't
team.
run after him.
So,
just leave
him
alone.
Who knows? Maybe
they're gonna die.
And Puppy are actually gonna hate each other. They're trapped.
This is what Axe gets for not buying a Pinto.
The future. It can be frustrating. I think what's weird about it is not that there's a roster lock, but it feels like it's too close to when the event's end. Like, from what I've been told, it sounds like the winter roster lock is tentatively planned for like very early December, like sometime in the first week. So that's
Why is he standing
the
back?
majors in the middle of November, which is roughly.
Can we get wards? There's no wards in this place.
Same thing. It's like 2-3 weeks to set your roster. I guess in theory, like at least you'll have maybe a week or two.
Why are we not warding?
Together, but it's the same issue where you don't really know if the teams can work. And,
Jesus,
sure,
fuck, man.
it does encourage stability, but the thing is, the teams are still
should've
going
just
to
went
change their
Battle Fury.
rosters like crazy after every major if they think that there's even a slight shot that they can do better with a new group. There's no incentive for players to stay together in Dota really right now, aside from the direct invites to majors. But if you don't think you're going to get a direct invite, just shuffle every major. So it's a tricky problem. Fans want to see more stable rosters in Dota. It's probably the worst competitive game in terms of the roster shuffling, at least up until now. Maybe the roster locks are going to help with that. Will it make for better Dota? I'm not really sure, but I think instead of seeing kind of constant, unscheduled shuffling, you'll just see like these intense blocks of like crazy reshuffling, players just YOLOing, randomly throwing rosters together, hoping for the best, not actually getting to practice with it first. I don't know what the solution is though. If you want to run these majors 3 times a year, 3 majors NTI, you've got the major ends. You have like 2-3 weeks where there's not going to be any events scheduled because teams won't play them because they want their downtime, and they also want to go home see their family. The majors probably going to be similar to DAC, I'm guessing, which is 2.5-3 week commitment, at least 2 weeks. So it's a lot of time away from home. So you've got 2-3 weeks off. That's the better part of 1 month already gone.
Yes.
Then you've got to fit all the other events in, and some of them. That's the weird thing, is how do you run an event in that situation? And so, like, in our case, we're running the summit. It's planned for the end of this year, though we haven't announced all the details yet. When do we do the qualifiers? We can't do them in November, so then we're doing the qualifiers in October, and maybe the very beginning of November. But half the teams that qualify...
Why is Bristle AFK? What the fuck's his problem?
They just sit, and then you're just randomly fighting new teams at some point, so... I think it's going to be really messy for third-party tournaments especially, and it may drive some events to just do more direct invites, but to me that's a big problem. If that's how it shakes out, which I'm not sure it is, but if that is how it shakes out, look at this TI. You have 2 wildcard teams who did incredibly
Great detection,
well.
guys.
Second place,
I love the supports in this team.
Took a game off EG in the grand finals, went undefeated to get there. Biggest evidence that we need more qualifier slots at the international that there's ever been. But then it goes deeper. You've got MVP Phoenix, who ends up finishing top 8, Complexity top 12, and people said NA Dota is shit and won't go anywhere, and then these guys still put on a pretty good run. Even EHO finishes, I think it was top 4? Yeah, they lost to LGD, right?
Top 6, I assume.
Top 6. Okay, so...
Where's Axe? Where's Axe at?
Another team that was not directly invited. So you really want to have more qualifier slots at events and less direct invites, especially for the non-major events, so that these teams have a chance to prove themselves. But the way that the roster lock is going to work in the shuffling, it's almost to the point where, like...
Why is Axe fucking around, man? We need him in his fights.
2-month window, counting the downtime after the one major and the downtime as the teams get ready for the next, where you can even squeeze the qualifiers in. So, yeah, I mean, I think my experience with Valve has generally been they don't necessarily do a perfect job the first time. In fact, they royally screw things up sometimes the first time, or at least could do things a lot better. But I think they are the best in the industry when it comes to iterating, at least in Dota. Like TI4, there were a lot of complaints, a lot of criticism, whether it was the format, the production. They didn't really tell the stories of Newbie, Vici, Gaby. Hell, the pre-show for TI4 had like an hour of Alliance and EG. EG had already been eliminated the day before. They barely touched the Newbie, Vici, Gaby. There was like no video content. That obviously was a lot better this year. And I mean, even just looking at the fact that a lot of teams got eliminated before the main event. You had teams that had, Newbie, who had a pretty poor group stage, to be honest. And then they just go through the bubble race, they win all these matches. Suddenly they're in the upper bracket, and people are just like, what was the point of the group stage if you could just claw your way out, as long as you're not, the bottom 3 teams. So, I think Valve is probably the best.
God damn it, I misclicked, man.
in the
Fucking
industry.
man.
If you compare them to any event operator, be it ESL, DreamHack, Blizzard, Riot, it's learning from their mistakes and improving for the next time. So I think it's going to be a bit of a shit show, to be totally honest with you. The rosters are going to be a mess. The whole subsystem, none of the players like it. It's just, it doesn't feel good to them. I know a lot of the big managers have a lot of problems with the subsystem as well. But the good thing with Valve is even if it's a shit show for the first or second major, they're going to get it right eventually. So Yeah, I'm not sure this is the ultimate solution, but hey, at least they're trying, which previously there was no structure there. They're trying to put a little order in the world.
By detection, we need detection.
That can't hurt. We've generally
We can
just
fight.
been
I can fight him.
operating under chaos theory for a while now.
I wanna get your perspective on some of the old great teams of yore. The one I want to start with is an obvious one, the early Na'Vi. The early ones that were playing these international finals. When people think back, okay, they'll think back quite differently now. Maybe a little bit rose-tinted glasses in terms of how good certain players were. I notice a problem in a lot of games with casual fans is the assumption always is when there's like an all-time great team or the team that dominates they always think like, oh, every player was like just the best at his role and they're always
I'm not gonna listen to this guy.
But usually it's something like a couple of players were very key in that particular time.
I don't really need Battlefield. I'm going straight Butterfly.
Or some innovation involved. That's usually what.
No, your Illuminate does alright against PL, and the Axis Q can do pretty good
as the lineup changed
against Illusions. It's late. It's really late for the go Battle Fury. I need actual action.
It's for fighting.
No, dude, you don't go Battle Fury for fighting, please.
One TI2. So TI2. The thing that really stands out to me is honestly more than anything, it's just Dendi. That was a patch
Makes
where
no
Rubik
sense.
was incredibly strong. He had higher base movement speed, his Fade Bolt did more damage, and it also had a longer bounce range, acquisition range.
Fuck,
so
that fucking
really
Mars
strong
machine
solo
took me
man.
half out.
And getting level 6 on him early was incredibly powerful.
Stop trying to fight without me, guys. Fucking
and
A.
could just take over games. And Dendi at that TI, him and Ferrari were the two players who their individual skill literally made the difference in more games than it did not. So I think for that TI, I really look at Dendi's individual play more than anything as the X factor and the thing.
Get back, dude. Just get back.
I mean, of course.
The fuck is he doing?
Dendi. You see, there's a great clip of him after he won a match where he's doing Gangnam Style, dancing as he jumps across the stage after a crazy win. I forget which match it was exactly, but that was when Dendi really went from someone that everyone knew from TI1 into basically cemented his status as a Dota legend, no matter how the rest of his career went. Unfortunately, hasn't been going so well lately. TI3 Na'Vi to me, I think if there's a player that stands out, it's probably Funnick, who, if you go back before TI3, Funnick was actually played on Empire, and I don't know how closely you follow Na'Vi's history of player acquisitions, but they're basically the Yankees of Dota.
They
so
just take everyone from Virtus Pro, Moscow 5, whatever they want.
Exactly. Like, normally in professional sports, like the pro team has their own farm team. Na'Vi's farm teams are the other CIS teams. They've got Empire, Power Rangers, you name it. They've at this point poached players from Hellraisers, another team that I could easily see them poaching players from in the future. They've got the money, they have the brand at this point after winning TI1. And Funnick was the star of Empire, and he was, I think at that time, a lot of people were starting to look at him as like, he was basically the Arteezy of that era. The way people looked at him is like, this is the next big deal. Like, Funnick is going to be like a franchise player to build a team around. And Na'Vi coached him from Empire. And people weren't really sure what to expect. He ended up playing a pretty similar role. This was a guy, Clinks was really strong back then, and he was the Clinks specialist. And Darkseer was also a really big hero.
Yes.
I remember one best of 3 where he plays Clinks versus the Darkseer. He wins the matchup, right? Which the Clinks, if he plays well, normally can at least break even, shouldn't die, and can win if he just out CS's and punishes the Darkseer when he skips behind the tower. And then he switches the matchup. He plays the Darkseer side of the matchup, and he crushes the enemy Clinks the next game. So TI3, if I had to pick a player, Funnick was probably the biggest difference maker, but I think TI3 Na'Vi was much less about individual performance or even being better than other teams. I mean, frankly, I look at that TI, Orange should have been in the grand finals. It wasn't just the Aegis denied by KYXY. They still could have won that game, but they tilted after it. I mean, who wouldn't? They just denied the Aegis in a lower bracket finals. Your championship Sunday, you're almost there. KYXY, please, but
none shall hinder
they tilted. I still think they were actually overall the better team. And like if you play that match, that series 10 times, I think Orange wins more times than Na'Vi does. But Navi just had the magic about them. That was the Navi viewer. These guys are just fun. They just find a way to win. It frankly doesn't make sense. Like, mathematically, they're in a terrible position. They don't have good late game. They don't have map control. Like, they're the team that's on a clock and they're behind. And somehow they pull shit out of nowhere.
How?
Well, that was where in other games, I remember in League, all up the front page, you got all these highlight videos. People obviously in League going, what the fuck, did you do like a threshold back to it? And they were like, that's so broken, what a rubbish game. And you're like, no, you have to realise, like, they're fucked if they miss those. Like, that's not like just something you spam and it's fine. Like, you're doing this and they're going to be out in the tournament if you just land all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that Fountain Hook match, and I was actually watching at the Players Lounge. This was in Battle Royale Hall, so it's a much more like intimate stadium. Pretty much everyone who was working the event who wasn't actively playing or casting would hang out in the lounge, unless they were getting ready to play the next match. Valve puts them in different rooms. And I'm watching there, and the players were just going nuts. They were all so upset. They're like, this isn't Dota. I distinctly remember Loda, like, beside himself trying to talk to, like, any Valve employee could find, like,
Classic.
This isn't Dota. You know, like, what is this? This is not part of the game. A team should not be able to win a match this way. And, you know, it was Western players, in a lot of cases, going against Navi, essentially. Not necessarily, you know, and who knows why. Maybe they were afraid of Navi. I think a lot of it was they were just like, this Kung Fu is playing better here. They should win this game. It's kind of like that. They've earned this win, but it's.
Why did you turn around?
Been very consistent about it. If it's in
Why are you trying to kite a fucking PL?
An exploit. If it's an exploit, they patch it. If it's not an exploit, they leave it in the game. So the Fountain Hook, as they had already been shown before, that's something that people forget is it wasn't the first time that a Fountain Hook could happen. Navi had actually. This was back when there was a lot of meaningless online tournaments with Navi because back then the prize pools were tiny compared to TI. Now at least you see some 6-digit prize pools which are quite healthy by any standard, and certainly compared to back then. So Navi would just fuck around a lot of their online matches, and I cast a couple of the games where they just practiced Fountain Hooks all day. They wouldn't even try to win. They ended up losing, but the funny thing about that much was that's actually the only way they could have won the game. If they Fountain Hooked anyone except for the gyrocopter, because How had the Aegis at the time, they still lose because they just get a kill, and then that hero's just gonna come back and they'll go again. But they lost the gyro twice because he got Fountain Hooked. So he respawned in their Fountain and he tries again. It was. I mean, you can't even write the script for that. That is just a million and one shot. That team was just not afraid. It got to the point where the Chinese teams would start banning Pudge against them. And that to me is like a far more ridiculous. I mean, like you look at the grand finals of CI5, CDEC banned Techies a bunch, and ultimately, you know, Techies kind of gimmicky in a way. A lot of people look at Pudge like, oh, that's not a real hero, that's kind of a clown strat. But, I mean, Pudge is evil. Pudge is far riskier than Techies is now. Like, back then, that was an extremely risky pick. He has terrible laning, he doesn't scale that well with farm, and he's not generally a very good team player, but Navi they just found a way. That team had something magical about them. And then of course the run ended in the grand finals. Their luck finally ran out. I'm sure that one still haunts puppies. The game 1 draft was just very off. They ended up picking like basically a 3 support tri-lane. It did not work out. They still almost went on to win game 5. I remember I had dinner with Dendi after it, and I mean it was even the day after, and he was still fuming. I mean, they did not agree on what to do as far as how to close out that game when they didn't take the lead. Hey, I mean, that definitely hurt. So, I don't know. I think that Navi and TI3 just had magic. Navi and TI2 was the Dendi show. I think that's pretty much.
So, when I mentioned this team, don't get too excited. Build into it.
Oh my god.
So, team, I need you to explain this team to me because this is a team where I actually think Dota 2 in some way lacks some of the aspects of esports journalism, you know. There are people doing stuff and there are people who are really into it, you know, but there's not really as much historical stuff, which is my shit, you know. I love that. I'm always interested to read that stuff myself, and when other people write it. And it's just when people don't write it, sometimes I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have to do the research and like that. But I've never heard a really good explanation for how the fuck that DK team were just gods, just unreal. And then just nothing when it came to that Tian off a cliff. How is that possible? How were they that good? What were they so good at? And then what is your theory about what happened? How can you explain that?
So I'm trying to remember back. If I recall correctly, when DK first formed, it was shortly after TI3, and the meta at the time generally the way the lanes would shake out is you would have a 1v1 for one of the side lanes, normally an off, like the two offlaners basically match up against each other, a strong safe lane carry versus an offlaner. And you would generally have a 1v1 mid. There weren't many dual lanes in the offlane. Teams were not abandoning it shortly after TI3. And where DK really excelled was dominating 1v1 matchups because they had Mushi and they had Ice. And they were gods of 1v1. They actually, I think it was the TI3 tournament, 1v1 tournament where they played each other in the grand finals. Oh, that's right. They played in the grand finals of the 1v1 tournament, and Ice was playing Mushi, and it was a mirror match. They're both Timbersaw, and for those who don't know, Timbersaw does almost all pure damage, aside from one of his nukes. If he doesn't hit his tree, it's magic damage. So Mushi bought a cloak, which clearly shows he doesn't play much Timbersaw because pure damage, it ignores magic resistance essentially. So it was a crazy 1v1. But they just dominated everyone to get to the finals. And yeah, players generally don't take 1v1s that seriously, especially at an event like TI. There's no real prize money in it for them. But this team had arguably the two best 1v1 players in the world on one team. And the meta was that you could just you get the matchups. And so they would always pick heroes and lane it away where they would get those two 1v1s, dominate the solo matchups. Your tri lane's still incredibly solid. I mean, you've got Lana burning. It's still going to be a strong lane anyway, and it allowed them to do so much with the drafts where other teams would have to start playing to counter DK instead of play their own style. So suddenly they're trying to dual lane because Ice is getting up control. They're looking to gank Mushi, and then Burning gets more space. So I think that meta really favored them the way their roster was built with incredible individual skill. They had kind of an interesting hybrid of styles, and that to me is that SEA Chinese fusion where you had kind of the more stable, solid play of a Burning, of a Lanham, of a MMY, and then you also have like the slightly more balls to the wall, a little bit suicidal at times, Ice, and you've got Mushi who wants to go for the big plays and is a little bit more of a gambler, and they just kind of balanced each other out. I think where that team ultimately struggled a bit, from talking to some people who are friends with the players, now we're looking back over a year, that they did have a little bit of an ego problem. Mushi has always been captain for pretty much every team as long as I can remember that he's been on. And Burning also has been a captain or generally the guy on every team he's been on. And I'm not sure that they necessarily had overly big egos, but I think it made it tough for them at TI when things started to struggle to figure out.
Alright, shut up, LD. Holy fuck. Talk too much. Fuck this game. You know, honestly, I probably could have, like... I think I could have got Battle Fury. They weren't putting that much pressure on me. It was just so hard and kind of demoralizing. Axe was Axe did okay for trying to blink in and do something, but Bristleback was like, I never saw him do any like quelling sprays whenever he was trying to kite. He never did that, and then he just gave up. Like he just went AFK farming. It's just really shitty people. They don't understand the game, and then they act like the game's over. Like even if I'm on tilt, I don't do stupid shit like that. Even I try to at least play it out. Oh man, it was hard. I'm telling you, man. It was demoralizing. I don't know what to do when I have an axe that's 1 in 10 in the first 8 minutes of the game. Feeding towards PL and techies. It was pretty fucking hard. I don't know. I think I tried to do what I can. I'm not really a great AM player, but I think I busted my ass in that game. I was probably the only thing that was coming close to like having that game turn around. I think I didn't really realize how Leshrak was doing. Coddle was okay. He kind of just fed towards, like, showing himself towards lane most of the time, towards PL, and just dying. Yeah, I just reported him and that was it. Whatever. I mean, he fucked my lane up and everything, and it was just really shitty. If you're on tilt, don't play. Dun, 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 dun. I need to listen to something. I need new music. I don't have anything. I'm afraid to play something because YouTube it's gonna mute my VODs because of copyright. They're worse. They're more worse than Twitch when it comes to that shit. Oh man, I felt like I had a chance in that game. Holy fuck. I was like, is this real life? Am I actually gonna like come back? I was kind of tripping out. I think the battle, I don't know. The thing is, how can I go battle mage when we had a team that was kind of like really like uncoordinated and didn't know what they were doing? I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, so I can't really talk. But like every time I wanted to take a fight, everyone's just like in a lane far away somewhere, and I couldn't rely on that bristleback for nothing. He was terrible. He was like not even wanting to tank a fight. He was kind of like just running away, and he wasn't even like stacking quilling damage. It was just really bad. It was really, really bad. Oh shit. Here's some free non-copyrighted music. Ugh. No. Okay, I guess I can listen to this. Yeah. There's moments I think we're gonna win. I don't care. I'm not gonna dwell on it anymore. If I do, I'm just gonna be on tilt. I do agree though, there was moments I wasn't popping my BKB. I don't know. I think I was so tunnel vision on trying to join the fight. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I can listen to Chiptune's music right now. I don't know what to listen to. I'm just gonna listen to Pandora. I don't care. YouTube can mute my VODs later.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Select a hero, please.
Oh, nature. What's the nature prophet for?
It is in.
Let's have a good, clean match today.
Thank you guys.
I think this game's gonna be hard.
This is
Think
gonna
so?
be really, really easy.
Well, like
Won't be that bad.
we can't really play super late.
Sure you can. I'm anti-mage.
Yeah, but I think Spectra out carries you late. It's a hard game.
I could just shut down PA and Tinker. Probably Spectre too.
We don't really have anything. What do we got? Nature Prophet? I'm a Dining and we got a Silencer. Oh man. We don't really have any like
Yeah.
good damage.
You drop off at like 20 minutes. 25 minutes.
I thought we were gonna team fight, not pick a weird funky ass ratting team.
Are you gonna support once it hits 25? Since you drop off so hard?
Let this meditative reflection on the fleeting and fragile nature of life begin.
Well, I'll try to rush mech if I can. Maybe get Griefs. If I
You're
can
gonna
get
support
farm.
Undying? You're gonna help?
Let's see.
Against the living. The gate endure. Carrion.
Nice job, Silencer.
What here? No one's here.
My will.
Lagging.
The dirt goes on. Not yet.
Don't auto attack the lane. See now, look, it's all pushed up.
Your top tower is under attack.
Careful. Just stay close to me, Silencer. It'll be dumb to dive you.
I got TP scroll. Let me know when you're ready. I can tip up there and pop tombstone.
Spectre has no mana, so good.
Invisibility.
Can you guys hear me?
Nature, you trying to go for ganking mid?
Alright, I don't have hope, oh my god. No,
What the fuck you guys are doing?
wait for me, wait for me.
He doesn't have long, you gotta do it fast. Nope, too late.
Just do it!
My will. All will succumb. Yes.
At least we got one.
My will.
you guys hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, am I loud?
No, you're good.
Cool.
How's this Pudge 0-2 already? What the fuck?
Go, 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 go.
Going there.
We could have killed her.
No. I had no like
Yeah,
disable. He would have just ran on the tower.
I think I want a solo killer, but I don't think I can.
Mid tower taking damage.
Pudge, you been drinking? I think Pudge has been drinking a little bit.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
The dead endure. The dirge goes on.
Nicely fortified towers you've got there.
Oh, fuck, man. This game sucks. I'm about to lose another game. Why is this Pudge on the cliff? Why are you cliff jumping, dude?
Come on, Pudge, you're not even level 6. Oh my god. I thought you were level 6, Pudge.
Is he feeding on purpose?
You saw that I'm dying?
Bottom tower being attacked.
Oh man, you guys, why is everyone just feeding? What's going on in this game?
No mercy.
Keep murdering. Your middle tower is under attack.
Did you pop it? No natures?
This smoker's, this Pudge is griefing.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
How's PA doing on a farm?
She's farming.
Okay, she has
pressure.
nothing really.
No pressure.
Welcome, Pudge.
He can't see you. What's the point of TP?
A dominant performance.
My final.
Mega kill.
I have failed the rain.
Go for it, Samus.
Killing spree. Whole lot of murder going on here.
Just mana void.
There's too much house there.
No, but undying zombies are there.
Okay, buddy. Would have killed him anyways.
Yeah, I know. I think there's 9.
And you're not in level 6, dude. You're 1 in 5.
So what can I do? I don't have boots.
What are you gonna do? Not pick silencer? Fucking would have played a burst support hero.
Dude, I need to have money to do shit.
I'm just saying
Go to
silencer.
the jungle. Just sit in the back and let him come to you.
That's...
They have woods here. Our lineup is like way greedier than theirs. It's so much weaker.
Not really.
What do you mean not
Get
really?
disable.
They got a lot of bursts. Look at this Pudge, man. I mean, what's the point?
I don't know, wanting to be dandy or something?
No, I want him to land a hook. He hasn't landed one yet.
Well, you know, you miss 100% of the hook you don't throw away.
Yep, easy coming from you.
Mid-tower taking damage.
Go?
He's gonna snowball on you and just kill you, dude. And I can't stop him.
You do know your bottom tower is being attacked, right?
He's gone.
We'll sit here and loot check XP.
Oh, I'll leave when I'm level 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
More like the whole team is missing.
Maybe no one attacked Dire's towers for a few seconds here.
Tusk is probably bleeding.
Tower taking damage.
Could have hooked him.
You freaking missed.
Just woke up, sorry.
Oh my god, there's no missing Witch Doctor or anything?
Because he was dead.
Well, now we know Tusk has Shadow Blade.
He didn't even have Shadow Blade, dude.
Well, then there's an Invis room.
There you go.
Tower being attacked.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm on tilt.
Your top tower. Your bottom tower is under attack.
You're dead, Ped.
Quite a spree. I am not your bottom tower, but if I were, I'd be in a lot of pain right now. Dire have fortified their towers.
Yeah, I have double tap to self-cast.
Well, now I see how much your own towers mean to you. Dire have duct-taped cardboard all over their structure. Mid-tower taking damage. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has been destroyed.
Hook someone, Pudge. Preferably Witch Doctor. Come on, Pudge. Nice job.
Sorry, I need my boots. Recoil after. Nature, recoil.
I don't know. One would argue it's too late for mech. But, I don't know what to do with it anymore. Hopefully this
Your
AM
bottom
gets
tower
farmed.
is learning to accept its own inevitable death.
They're all pushing mid again. I think we could take fights. They're kind of like out of position.
Yeah, if you were there with the tombstone, we probably could.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
My global silence is down.
All we need is punches right here. That's Witch Doctor.
Yeah.
Dominating.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do with it here.
Dire structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack.
Back away from me.
Your top tower is under attack.
She has no mana.
Your
the goal.
Yep.
A double slaughter.
Which we might avoid.
I'll just cut your losses.
Hopefully that'll help us. The nature buff is going to tag on. I'm the highest level on my team.
Don't go. Don't go.
Fudge.
What?
Don't chase him. Oh, there's smoke.
Who are we smoking to?
Oh my god, Fudge. I guess we can get Tusk.
Why are you backing? I need vision.
B.
God, this team.
That freaking range though.
Don't fucking just teleport right in front of someone like that. That's not how you fucking play nature. Unless you know they're gonna die, don't do that. Look, no one's gonna buy fucking wards. I might as well just buy fuck this team. Spectre's missing, PA's missing. Why don't you just hook him?
An acceptable amount of ladder.
Made it.
Hey, what? Where's the team at? Baited. Shut up, fucking shitter. Holy fuck, support silencer. No global, no nothing.
Mid tower taking damage. More death. Your bottom tower is under attack.
You saw that? He's palming right now.
Bottom tower being attacked. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is destroyed.
This guy has nothing. Fuck. "22 minutes again, all he has is a Battle Fury." Hold on, run, Tuska's, fucking... What was that global for? Why? The fuck is the game frozen?
Silencer?
More death, double kill. Dominated. 3 innocent lives taken.
This round is over. They who live by the wand shall die by my blade.
Thanks for the ping.
Top tower under siege.
I return.
Dire structures are fortified. If enemies attacking your top tower is what you desire, please take no action. Your top tower is under attack. Delightful. Your top tower won't be great. Your top tower has fallen by mistake.
No, he has nothing. He just now got his poor man's shield. Man, I could have played a better AM than this. Fuck.
Mid tower taking damage.
Large, what are you doing?
My stomach rumbles. Death marches. My will. Boy, fresh light.
You really bought back?
Your middle tower is being torn to pieces.
Yeah, he's got no team fight. I don't know why you even got silencer.
Oh, another shit team.
Being attacked truly does send some rapturous flowing through one
Why? What's going on? What? I'm just doing what any Undying would do. Just drop Tombstone and just right click and spam your Q and pop mech and fight. No one knows what they're doing. They have a silencer who never uses global properly. Hopefully they'll overextend here.
whole lot of murder going on here. Sticking out. Quite a spree.
Where's Anti-Mage?
I'm right here.
Oh fuck. You're like a dying.
Calm down, dude.
Hook him. Where's the R?
Nice.
There, now we're back in this game.
Just TPing.
We got Guardian Greaves.
Pipe would be pretty cool. Get switch actor and tinker. I'm getting hard, so I don't die right away. Then I'm gonna build Manta. Because in team fight I just get bursted down fast. Is that cool with you?
My stomach rumbles.
Hurry up, guys.
I'm not sure, but I think they are going to Russian.
Think they're Russian?
Yeah, man. Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. PS Basher.
Yeah.
Big Monkey Bar.
Should I bring by Monkey King Bar or Manta first?
Well, if you want to kill PA, you gotta get Monkey King.
Yeah, but PA's not that big of an issue right now.
Yeah, then just go.
But he will be later.
No, if you mana void, the AoE is probably gonna kill him anyway.
I'll probably just build Manta first. I think it should don't have you ready by PA.
Should probably keep the aggression up. I think we're doing a good job now. Just keeping up the aggression while AM farms.
Yeah. I'm just farming that hard out right now.
Get him, get him.
Yeah, but we really gotta get Tinker.
Forget it. Oh.
Nice job. That was a big kill.
What about Russian? Phantom? I think Phantom is there. Be careful.
I don't think he is. I don't think he can solo it. I don't think we can. I don't think we can do it.
No, we cannot. No, we cannot.
Can someone put a ward here? Who has the wards? I should have put a ward somewhere else.
Ultimate anti-mage. Ultimate. Ultimate.
Did you kill him? I didn't even pay attention.
AM, just push the tower.
Oh, don't get too aggressive.
Dominant performance.
Nice job. We could probably push
Go
this.
Russian, go Russian, go Russian.
Tombstone's still up.
Take the tower and go Russian.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you going mech? I already have mech. Oh, you're going pipe. I guess.
No, he won't pipe, he's going pipe.
I guess it's not too bad considering.
But why is he going pipe? There's like no magic damage on your team.
You're gonna buy treads, anti-mage?
Yeah.
Why'd you rush straight heart? You should have went Manta.
So I don't die right away in team fights. Tusk just one hit me. Tusk combo can just one shot me.
You need to blink out of there. Why are you not doing it?
Killing spree. 2 down.
I don't understand this guy. I mean, you're dying in team fights anyway, so I think Manta would have been a better play.
Dominating. Triple kill.
Bash Lord.
Heart went. I don't know about Heart, man. I don't care. We're losing
At least
anyway.
I don't die in team fights, dude.
But you are dying in team fights.
Tusk would just one hit me if I had Manta. What's the point of having Manta if I have 800 HP?
Because you have stats and you can break it by using Manta.
Okay, but what if Tusk got me? I'm dead.
Well, that's if you're not supposed to get ulted by Tusk. You're a Manta mage.
Oh yeah?
If you are, you're doing something wrong.
This snowball will take half my HP away.
Again, could have popped Manta.
And Tinker would just insta-kill me, so... If I didn't have heart.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna pick.
Fudge, can you get a hook on this? Oh, never mind. Probably Roshan.
No, they are.
I'm not rushing.
Oh my god, Tinker. Twos.
Fudge, try and get a hook on him.
Let's see on guitar.
Well, you got it. Back.
Back.
You got the hook. You can take Grimmer.
Will you go help and die?
Yeah, baby.
Well, what was that silence for?
I thought that cancels Rion.
No.
Weird.
Why
You
would
can cast your keybinds, even if you're silenced. You just can't use skills, but you can still use items.
Yeah, but rearm is on Naito.
He is using his travel boots, dude. That's an item, not a skill.
If he would have done it a lot faster, but he didn't. And also another thing, you need to stop showing yourself in lane. What the fuck? This anti-mage is worse than I am. I'm saying okay, it's something.
I hope having a top tower was not a part of your strategy. Your top towers are under attack.
Even Tinker has a Manta style. Oh my god. 2 games in a row with this shit.
Your middle tower is under attack. Mid tower taking damage. Your middle tower is eliminated. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is in ruins. Someone left, but they're going to miss the digital. The bottom barracks has fallen. Your bottom barracks is made. The enemy now has mega creeps.
Hello.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain.
Oh man, is this one of those days I'm gonna get a massive losing streak? I can't win a game. We're going back to Bloodsuka. I'm sorry. He's like the only hero that I want to play right now, to be honest. Unless someone else picks him.
Technically, announcers aren't supposed to judge you for your selection of hero, but honestly, I've never been much for rules. Ten seconds to pick. Your pick.
Does the Silver Edge break does it break Ursa's ult?
Let's have a good, clean match today.
The only way they're gonna win is if they get Tiny fit. So you guys might wanna, I don't know, try lane against them or just do anything you can to shut down Tiny. Ursa's gonna be annoying, but Tiny's gonna be more potent late game. So.
Try lane them. What? My headphones are fucked up.
Where do you think we go when we die?
Enough hide and seek. With a strong staff in my hand, said the child of the east. And he stood and it swirled at east. With a strong staff in my hand, said the child.
Each other for miles.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, he blocked you in, dude.
The killing begins.
By sea, said the night on the road. With a good boat underneath, said the child as he
Die, resurrecting, dying again, resurrecting again. Why?
Oh, and our nature's prophet is laning.
It's ringing you to hell, said the child of Easter. And he stood, and it's well that he. It's ringing you to hell, said the child.
Fuck. So stupid.
Drain you dry.
So this is not laning, I guess.
Your blood is mine.
I mean, he took the lane. What do you want me to do? I can't kill those at level 2.
I'm gonna meet my God, said the child.
Blood calls to blood.
Thought you were laning. Nature.
As you wish. As the twins direct.
Honestly, that lane looks hard anyways.
My Sunstrike's only level 2, so I can't get tiny.
By the way, this Shadow Shaman's really greedy.
What the fuck? Why didn't I right click?
Open your pleasure.
Why is this stacked? Man, oh my god. Who stacked this? Oh my god. Fuck me. Oh.
Twas not me.
Twas not me.
Oh, when it's not even 3 minutes in the game, you're playing like shit, NP, and we're gonna call you out on. No, I asked why he was laning at the very beginning. He says, no, I'm not laning. And then said lane with me for 2.5 minutes.
This guy's got DD.
Enough hiding.
Dire structures are fortified. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Fucking help bottom.
Do you need assistance? Yes, no, maybe so. Well played.
I got a second Sunstrike as soon as I got off cooldown. It's pretty cool. Like that. This guy's missing. He's probably just getting a top run though. I'm gonna gank bottom.
I'm here too. Let me get rid of stun for you.
More death.
Good job. That's it up. This guy's missing, by the way.
He was mid, correct?
Very well.
He was mid. Nice top.
Oh no.
Top tower under siege.
I only have mana for Sunstrike and nothing else, so if I'm gonna gank, I'm probably gonna go back to base first, get mana.
We should have this bottom tower. Sand King, grab him, grab him, grab him, grab him.
Good job, guys.
I got nothing for you, bro. I gotta get out of here before I feed. I'm gonna grab bottom rune if I can.
A dominant performance.
Oh, it's a haste rune actually.
Top rune's bounty, I'm gonna get that.
Alright, I'll take it. I got enough for one stun for you, for mid.
Alright.
If I can land. No, he's not baiting it. I guess a good upgrade courier for you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, we roll on top if I got my ulti.
Bottom tower being attacked.
Never mind, gotta protect bottom, sorry.
I got 287.5 damage on Sunstrike, so if you see somebody below that, just ping them.
Your middle tower is under attack. Mega kill.
Oh, fuck you, fucking Nature Prophet. Nice vision.
They're coming for bot lane. If you guys want to get kills on it.
I'm gonna come bottom, but I don't have TP.
That's fine, I got my ulti. I just gotta get him a good stun.
Follow where the moon does shine through the leaves of trees above. Twilight, holy night,
Careful, Todd.
Killing spree.
Cool. Yeah, let's get this tiny.
No,
Ah, he's too fast.
it's fine. It's fine. We got creeps on the tower.
Take that tower. There's like 4 top. So just take it.
Unstoppable.
Finish the tower. Oh crap!
Enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
From the top.
The snake did. Hit the snakes if you can, NP. NP.
Yeah,
Hit the snake.
I'm farming them.
Get out, NP. Well played, well played.
Mid tower taking damage.
Good job, guys.
Nice. I got a ward, sorry. Let's slack. Actually, free the ward, I'm gonna have to get
Shit. You wanded up, that sucked. She would have freaked the wand, I could have killed him. But, hey, good job, guys. Shit.
That tiny
Shaman's going for an early eggs.
Twice the murder.
Oh, without a doubt. He wants his snakes, and he's probably getting refreshers, so.
Radiant sure are loving those invulnerable towers.
Blood fuel. As you wish.
Money to burn.
It's kind of sad that Ursa hasn't roached yet.
Yeah. The earliest you can roast is probably like 6 or 7 minutes as Ursa.
Blood calls to blood.
Tiny's mid. Shit, I thought he was gonna go there. Ooh, I want to get Ursa while he's farming ancients.
A quantity of murder, both sick and wicked.
You are dead.
Good job, guys. I gave Sky 800 gold, but I think it's worth it if it's 3 for 1.
Whoa, did he disappear? Did he blink?
Maybe he has an invis room, I don't know. This Corey just went mid like he was later, I have no idea. The Shaman's almost got his eggs, he's 1200 gold away.
Lena's terrible. Don't pick Lena. I still don't know how they're not kicking my ass. Get Earthshaker, guys. What are you looking at?
I love these snakes, they're just like free fucking creeps, one-shot creeps. Oh, good job, guys.
Does he have Blink Dagger already? Why is he so sneaky? What the fuck?
Dude, he's been terrible. You should have been on bottom lane. Like, you don't understand. I went down there with a tiny Earthshaker and he ganked me once. The tower killed me before they did.
Ursa's got his Vlad, so it's probably going to rush.
Yeah, let's have some words over there.
Wait, let me scout it out, because I got this.
We take towers?
Feed secret middle. Oh, or top, sorry. Sand King, what are you still doing in there? Yeah, that's what you're doing. Coming for Shaman, coming. You should have let him back to me. Skyrat's coming in.
I got Sunstrike. You can get him.
I'm just trying to bait him.
It's not baiting him.
Oh, Ursa got in there.
The Radiant shed
Oh, Ursa's got double damage.
You guys
too.
can tag him. It's fine, you guys can kite him.
Enemies are ravaging your middle tower. Well, that's one tower they won't be taking home.
There was a bad transfer. Get out of there. The ward's at you, dude.
I was already fucking dead.
Oh my god. It was supposed to be a simple fight. It turned into shit. Oh man.
Oh, by the way, I have.
What is this?
Morty
What is this? What is this? Why did you rush this first? Oh man. Whatever. I thought you were going Midas for some reason.
Dire structures are fortified. Your middle tower is attacked.
Ursa still got Aegis, so don't use all your spells on him. Because I'll just let his team do a bunch of fucking bullshit.
Looks like they took the middle tower.
He's fast.
What?
Too early.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is being attacked. I liked your style. Double kill takes the their structures. Your bottom tower is under attack. Keep murdering. 3 innocent lives taken.
The sacred grove awaits. So it shall be.
Dominating.
I'll play Invoker.
I gotta admit, I try a little too hard. I take this game way too seriously.
You should see me play Treant Protector. Like my team's like push, and I'm like, no, there's still a tree without a ward on it. That Axe Refresher. Hysterical shit, especially if I have a Lich on my team. Oh my god. Like the first 3-person gank I pull with that.
They must have a ward here, because the jungle camp keeps getting blocked.
Most likely. It's probably right in the smack dab middle of it.
The search continues.
Time to get illusions. Ursa has blink.
He doesn't know how to use it though.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman has Aghanim's.
Watch out, you're dead. You better get out.
Yeah, they definitely have wards there, dude. Most definitely. Because they all started walking toward me.
You want to buy a gem and just go around D-ward?
That'd be awesome, actually.
Yeah, Blood totally is feeding. It's cool. No, he's not our carry. I think our Sand King is our carry.
Oh my god, he doesn't know how to fucking use his blade.
He really doesn't.
Oh my god, he really doesn't. That's awesome. Oh my god.
Oh, they're coming. Chat. You could totally get.
Ah, fuck, Tiny. Didn't expect Tiny to come in from the bottom right. I thought they were all coming from the bottom left. This guy's got invis.
Yeah, I don't know where that ward was. It might have run out, but.
I think the ward's over here somewhere. Interrupted his team. That's awesome. Just gonna farm the rest of my eggs.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm not playing anything.
I hate that ward spot. It's so glitchy.
My headphones are fucking up. Really here.
I got you back. I got you back. Oh, Andy warded that.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Watch out, Ursa's coming. Ursa's coming.
Not expecting
I'm coming
that.
up. I'm coming up. Coming up.
Shit. Damn.
Oh my god, they stole the gem.
Okay, Earthshaker has haste.
Get the gem. He stole it.
Damn it. My camera was fucking messed up.
Totally fed the gem. You guys need to rotate better.
Quite a spree. Radiant's towers are fortified. Do as you please with that information.
Open your as the twins direct. Your blood is mine. What it means to win. Open your grave. Save me again.
ready to burn.
By the flayed ones. Very well.
Their silent
What?
I go.
Does he have Glimmer Cape?
Out for blood. Hammering.
Goodbye, Roshan, you majestic, fearless stallion you.
I gotta give it up to the Earthshaker. We should probably not fight the...
Keep murdering.
Probably should have went towards that guy. I don't know why they're taking fights. I don't know why I'm here. It's kind of stupid taking fights, really. I don't want to fight into their Aegis Ursa right now.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is... Oh dear. It's just been completely destroyed. Mid tower taking damage.
In the air. Very well.
Mid tower taking damage.
By the flayed ones.
An acceptable amount of your middle tower is being destroyed. Dire have fortified their towers.
What?
It was your own course. Whole lot of murder going on. Wicked sick. Double kills are taking enemy fronts.
Why would they want to take fights?
The middle barracks is the red kidney of Dota. No
Like, I
one
don't know. I think we shouldn't have just walked towards the pit when he was at Aegis. It's kind of weird.
Oh, how wonderful. Your middle tower is being torn to pieces.
Keep your hands where I could see them.
Your middle tower is under attack.
You took the words right out my mind.
Enemy's top tower destroyed.
When you knew that I would need them. What am I supposed to do now?
Transfused.
twins. By the flayed ones. As the twins direct. Godlike. 2 down.
I'm dead. I think or no? No. Ping, 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 ping. Ping, ping. Holy shit.
Your bottom tower is under attack. And your bottom tower is gone. Completely gone.
Washed in the rain. No longer. Walk with me down. Love for the
Your
should probably go back
tower is
now.
under attack.
Probably not a smart thing to do. I guess we're going.
I think we can safely call this a spree.
For the flayed ones.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Twins guide.
Washed in the rain. No longer.
Suppose we defend that bottom tower. Yes, their dire structures are fortified.
Washed in the rain.
Bottom tower being attacked. Your bottom tower is in ruins. Bottom back is under attack.
From beyond side of very
Your bottom house.
Ooh, the quality of spells for this costume.
Swarms over me. Double slaughter.
On his face. And the touch of love's hand. The pain that comes today is here, then goes away.
Mid tower taking damage.
And we are homeward bound. And I want this more than life. I want this more than life.
Quite a spree.
This more than life. New blood to touch something real.
Dominating.
bones heal like the sun on your face. The trees goes to blood. Starry nights. We are homeward bound. I want this more than life. I want this more than life. I want this more than life. I want this more than life.
Your top tower is under attack.
Why are we going towards them? Oh man, I'm talking to the same person. Anyways, we lost. It's alright. Losing more games. Should have probably defended high ground, I think. We should have just ran towards them.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is fallen. If your top barracks are of value to you, I say thus, your top barracks did. Where did your top barracks go? If I've gotten you what you've always wanted, more enemy mega creeps. One's middle tower being attacked truly does send such a rapturous flowing through one's veins. Oh dear, well that's one less middle tower. Your is taking again.
From a false family, she could like you.
Your ancient is under attack.
Like a
sun warms my feet. Your ancient fled to defeat. They can no longer be assured.
So lead us there. So lead us there. So lead us there.
Be right back.
So lead us there.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Your turn to pick. Ten seconds to pick.
Just like prayer, like gospel hymns that you call in here. Come down,
Select a hero, please.
reverence, until my simple house and rain, and rain.
Only 10 seconds. Your pick.
Ring like silver, ring like gold. Ring out those ghosts on your high. Ring like clear dead wedding bells. Over the belly of the beast of the soul that fell.
10 seconds to pick.
Will never tell. Come to me, clear and cold. Some say, watch the world spinning ways like machine. And I've been crazy, couldn't you tell? I threw stones at the stars, but the whole sky fell. Now I'm covered up in strawberry up on a table. Well, I drank and sang and passed in the stable.
The game's about to begin. Just try not to think of failure and all the ways you could lose and everything in yourself you feel weak and insecure about, and you should be fine.
Welcome. And that tall grass grows high and brown. Well, I dragged you straight in the muddy ground.
Deploying!
And you send me back to where I roam.
30 seconds to video games. 30 seconds.
Oh man, I hate. My headphone has one speaker and it's really annoying. I need new headphones.
We have first blood.
What's that?
Turn me back into that wild-haired gale.
Come on, you whippersnapper!
Ring like gold. Turn these diamonds straight back into cold.
Repositioning.
Turn these diamonds straight back into cold.
Roger. Bang, bang, bang! What's that? Heads up! Locked and loaded. All systems nominal. What's that? You confirmed. Gonna break your beak. Got my second wind. Speak up. Come on. Bingo.
You may not have it.
What's that? Rotating. Yes, sir. That was all that it took for the dream to be. All the loose ends would surround you, in the shape of your face. Affirmative makes me love you despite the reservation. What do I see in your eyes? Besides my reflection. Quit your mumbling. Somewhere reciting incantations since Alabama. Diverting. Carving off the hair of someone's young. Come here, you. Think I caught an updraft. Trajectory confirmed.
Didn't even pull the lane. Look at this shit.
Got my bearing. Wilco.
Are you stupid? You think I'm gonna fight that?
All systems nominal.
This air shaker's this.
Quit your mumbling. Maneuvering.
What?
Yes, sir. Repositioning. Yeah.
Dude, he like fucked my lane. Look at this. Fuck this guy. What the fuck, man? I can't have a normal game. I can't have a normal fucking Dota game with me playing on the safe lane. I'm afraid to tack into this. But see what I mean? Like, what was the point? I can't even see S. It's already like hard last hitting with this hero at like level 1. This fucker had to take my... I'm dead. Why is he always leaving the lane? Stupid fuck. Stop pulling.
Deploying.
I'm not even getting the last hits.
What's that? Me? Let's stay down.
He's dead.
Tower taking damage.
Oh no, he's not. He's not really roaming. The thing is, when he pulls, he kind of pulled really far back.
Top tower under siege.
Maneuvering.
It's an illusion.
Can't they call me old-timer? Attack! Youngin. Yes, sir. Come on.
Oh man, I suck at last hitting with this hero. Oh my god, I missed like 40 CS with this hero already that I could have known I could have. What the fuck? Can I at least get boots? Oh, he missed that. God damn, I should have read that. Oh, this lane's pushed. I wonder why this fucking Earthshaker double not pulling the lane correctly.
Yes, sir.
I'd rather he not pull the lane.
Deploying.
Can you help your courier?
Got my bearings.
I'm not getting phase boots, getting treads.
Wilco.
Thank you.
Dire have fortified their towers. I am not your bottom tower, but if I were, I'd be in a lot of pain right now.
What's that? Repositioning. Trajectory confirmed.
I forgot there's the techies in this game.
Top tower under siege.
Ah, vanity.
Keep murdering.
What's that?
I could have used the tango right here.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Nice job.
Dominating. God bless.
Yeah. Affirmative. Just shit.
An acceptable amount of murder. Your bottom tower.
Why is he walking up there? Probably raise him, I think. No. That was a weird one. He won't get him. Nah. I don't care if I die. But
Enemies are ravaging your middle tower, and it's a beautiful day.
What's that?
oh fuck! What am I doing here? Ooh, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
Yes, sir. Drive burning. Trajectory confirmed.
We can't take him on. I'm not very strong and I can die easily.
Snow says
Bottom tower being attacked. More death.
What is he doing? We can turn around and fight.
Killing spree. Your middle tower twice the murder. Two innocent lives taken. Quite a spree.
What?
A dominant performance. A vicious double slam.
Our style identified.
That's because they all died.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
Come on.
I'm getting dove.
This is the first day of
Winter
my
call.
life. I swear I was born right.
Nice TP.
the first face that I saw.
I can't even take a tower.
Think I was blind.
Fuck, man.
I don't know that.
Whoa. Oh shit. Oh damn it, man! I keep dying. Fuck. I can't play right now. It's alright. It keeps carrying. I think.
Enemy's top tower destroyed.
It might be super late for drums.
Got my
Oh man.
Changed, you felt.
Yes, sir.
As if
What's that?
Holy shit.
These things there's no telling.
I ran out of mana so quick.
But I'd rather be working for a paycheck than waiting to win the law.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Think you lie.
Kill confirmed. Yeah. Bingo. Rotating.
Mega kill. Until near its death, none of us suspected the repulsive hatred that lay buried in the heart of Radiant's career.
All systems nominal.
Your top tower is under attack. Whole lot of murder going on here. Your top tower is under attack. Regeneration. Top tower under siege. Enemy's middle tower demolished. Top tower under siege.
Safely walk to school without a sound.
Damn it.
Safely walk to school without a sound.
Trajectory Not yet.
We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn.
Not yet. Hey, I fixed that target.
Back to class. Teacher marks are hide against the wall. Teacher marks are hide against the wall.
All systems nominal.
We don't notice any time pass.
Got my bearings.
We don't notice
Dire
any
structures are fortified.
We sit side by side in every class.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, your middle tower is being
But she
attacked.
likes the way you sing. Tonight I'll dream while I'm in bed. And silly thoughts go through my head about the bugs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow, I'll bet you and I will walk together again. I can tell that we
Mid
are
tower
gonna be
taking
friends.
damage.
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
Quit your mumbling.
tower is under attack. You hit hard. Come on.
Hostile identified. What's that? Wilco. Attack! Good idea from up here. Repositioning. Gonna break your feet. This is maneuvering. This is yes, sir. Deploying. What's that? Yes, sir. Feet up. Deploying. Come on, you whippersnapper! Roger! What's that? Quit your mumbling!
Should I go shade? Well, what should I go then? Should I go I don't know what to go.
Your top tower is under attack. Dire have fortified their towers.
Out of here! Engaging!
People still buy this item. Why don't you pay attention to the metagame? Your bottom tower is under attack.
All systems nominal.
I feel like I just need stats or something.
Forgetting.
You should have backed away, dude.
Maneuvering.
Or care for their minds.
Keep murdering. Ownage.
Rotating. Silenced. Affirmative. What's that?
You accidentally destroyed the enemy's bottom tower. If enemies attacking your top tower is what you desire, please take delightful. Your top tower... No, wait. Your top tower has fallen. My mistake.
Diverting! Yes, sir!
Now that would be a tribute.
Wilco! I ain't old yet! Yeah. Youngin'. Ah. What's that? What's that? Bingo! Rotating! Feet up! Heads up!
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ags. I never used gyro ags before. I don't know how interesting that is.
Bottom tower being attacked.
Who's it traveling? Oh man, I'm getting too weak.
What's that?
Oh man, it's almost 30 minutes in the game. I have no good farm on this hero. Ugh.
Yes.
We need to stick together, I think. We're way too farmed out. I'm just trying to catch up and farm, but like Space Cow and all those guys need to be like just going ham. Gotta watch out for CK and his reality rift bullshit. If you guys want to take a fight, someone should buy smoke. I don't have money for it.
Maneuvering.
Oh, be careful where you guys are at. You guys are in bad areas. The whole team isn't with you, and Space Cow isn't there. I can't do anything. Fuck, I turned to stop. Oh my god. What the fuck? Fuck the fucking piece of shit. Becky's, man. Why are we taking fights still? Where are you going? Holy shit. This is a nice echo stun. What's the tombstone?
What's that?
Tusk. He, Shadow Blade.
What's that? Hostile identified. Yeah. Got my bearings. Deploying. Bingo.
Oh, whoa, let's kill her. Easy. Space Cow, where are you? I'm out of mana. I'm out of mana. I'm out of mana. I can't do shit. I'm out.
Bottom tower being attacked. Top tower under siege. Dire structures are fortified.
Considering how the fight went, I think it's okay.
Your top tower is under attack.
It could have been a lot worse.
Your bottom tower has been denied.
Oh, that explained it.
My bearings.
Medusa's level 22. Shit.
Firing and forgetting.
No. Where's everyone at? Why don't you charge someone? Fuck. For an MKB? Can you really? You can't kill him. What? What? They can't solo kill that guy. We could probably kill him now. Jesus, fuck.
What?
Now what? You think Medusa would have MKB? You think I should just go like straight? You think I should go MKB? She might be going she might be going butterfly.
Trajectory confirmed.
We should be rushing soon, I think.
Quit your mumbling.
This techie's, I haven't seen him around lately.
Repositioning. Yeah.
They're all up top. We can take it. We can take it. We can take it. We can take it. They're all on top. Dude, techie mines. Why is that stuff going? They're mostly all top. You guys are hesitating too much.
Cleared hot. Bingo.
innocent lives taken.
Mid-tower taking damage. Dire structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under it. Your middle tower is being destroyed.
Okay.
A dominant performance.
God damn it!
Mega kill.
I should have fought back.
Your middle tower has been eliminated. Your middle barracks are taking your middle barracks. Just look at how not there anymore it is. Endurance run!
What are you doing? Well, let's solo kill this bitch more. SF, what are you guys doing? Yeah. Oh my god, no one can kill her. She's so tanky.
What's that? He said to them, got my bearings. Come on, you whippersnapper! Not yet! Yes, sir!
We can't fight without Shadow Fiend. Stop trying to go for solo kills.
A quantity of mirror both sick and wicked.
Why is he farming?
Top tower under siege.
What did I tell you, man? Fucking wait for Shadow Fiend, right? You go and fucking just like jump in there like you're gonna team wipe them.
Your top tower is under it. Your top tower is fallen.
Why do you like? Well, why don't you just wait for a team fight before you pop that shit?
Oh, wonderful. Your middle tower is being torn to pieces.
farm.
Deploying.
Don't approach. Don't walk towards them. Just defend high ground.
Come on.
Run away. Don't turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Fuck, what am I doing? I'm dying.
What?
Enemy fire upon your bottom barracks. Dire have fortified their towers.
Maneuvering. Heads up! I ain't old yet. I'm dominant.
Tower taking damage.
Bearings.
Why is this Earthshaker always like just trying to initiate her Echo Slam when she's stone gazing? There's no follow-up when you Echo Slam and she's stone gazing, because we're all going to just turn to stone. Thanks for that fucking stupid fucking... Oh my god, you're fucking fissure, dude. Oh my god.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
Jesus, fuck this stupid idiot, man.
Without your bottom barracks, the map really is much cleaner. Quite a spree. 2 down.
Oh my god, Jim! Why are you showing yourself on the fucking map, Shadow Fiend? God damn it. Yeah, you should buy back. Stop body blocking me. Build a tombstone. Ooh, shit. We can defend. We just gotta heal up. Oh my god, she's gonna make us. Go block, go block her. We can kill her. Jump in and just fucking do something.
Your ancient is under attack. Bad news for your ancient right now.
Oh my god, who's fucking the courier up, man? Shut up. I swear, if you jump in there with no wards and no vision of them, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Oh fuck, he needs his fucking knuckles. No, don't fight without me. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. No, what are you doing? Just back away, back away, back away. Run, 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 run. Don't charge into Medusa. We're gonna need to like use everything we have against her. Buy back if you have it.
Incoming enemy murdering.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Nice for fissure, buddy. Shit.
Everyone push.
Oh my god, I can't win a game. Dude, you ulted into Stone Medusa. Fucking retard. No goddamn follow-up. And you ult. Dipshit. No, you Earth. Like just blinks after. What the fuck is that shit, man? Oh my god. Okay.